Good to go. What's up guys, my name is Courtney Budson and this is What's for Din. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different type of video. Since it's the hottest part of summer, I wanted to show you guys how to make iced tea in 3 different ways. Not only are these recipes refreshing and amazing tasting, they're so much more healthier than the soft drinks that you normally consume. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're gonna start off with the healthiest tea that we're gonna make today. We're gonna be making a pineapple peach green matcha tea. So I start off by using some good quality matcha tea packets and I put 5 of them in a heat-proof bowl. Then over top of that, we're going to pour some really hot water that I just boiled and set the timer for 5 minutes. Now I don't like to let them steep longer than 5 minutes because there's a chance that it can become bitter. So after 5 minutes, I like to take it out and then we'll just set it aside and move on to the next step. So in order to sweeten the tea, we're going to be making sort of like a fruit syrupy concoction. In a heavy bottom pan, we're going to add some frozen pineapple, some frozen mango, and some frozen peaches. Now I personally like to use frozen only because they're picked at their peak freshness and they stay that way until you de-thaw them. So we're going to add that into our pan over medium-high heat along with some water and some sugar. Now if you want to replace the sugar with like honey or some kind of agave nectar, you can go ahead and do that, but I personally prefer using an all-natural cane sugar. So we're going to bring that up to temperature over medium-high heat and just let that kind of simmer until they start to break down. I like to assist it using a potato masher and just kind of mash it down. So once it looks all clumpy and bumpy, that means you're ready to go on to the next step. Now I like to blend it so it's a lot more smoother, so I go in with my immersion blender and blend it up nice and smooth. So all you have to do is assemble it at this point. So we're going to put in our fruit juices and then add our green tea that we just made along with some water, and then I like to garnish it with some fresh cut up peaches and a little bit of fresh mint, because not only does that make it look amazing, it just makes it taste even more potent and refreshing and amazing. So now we're going to move on to making my absolute most favorite tea in the entire world, strawberry raspberry Rewboss tea. Now if you're not familiar with what Rewboss is, it is literally the most amazing tea in the world, at least in my opinion. It is so healthy for you. Google the benefits, you'll thank me later. So we're gonna put all of our tea bags into a heat-proof bowl, and into that we're going to pour some boiling hot water and let that sit for 5 minutes, no more, no less. Now again, following the same procedure, we're going to make a nice fruit syrup. So in a pan with a heavy bottom, we're gonna add some frozen raspberries and frozen strawberries, a little bit of water, and of course some sugar. Now I wanna bring this up to a simmer until everything breaks down, and then once again, I like to blend it all with my immersion blender just to get it nice and blended up and smooth. We're gonna go ahead and add our fruit syrup into the bottle along with our freshly brewed tea, and then fill up the rest with cold water. And my secret ingredient is adding a little bit of vanilla extract. It just adds a little extra something. Give it a good shake and then store it in the refrigerator until it's nice and cold and ready to drink. No joke, I make that tea all the time because it is so delicious and it's so super easy lemon squeezy. Speaking of lemon squeezy, we're gonna move on to making the next tea, which is my version of an Arnold Palmer. So for those of you who don't know what an Arnold Palmer is, it's basically half tea, half lemonade. Put the 2 together and you got magical things. The first thing we're gonna do is make a simple syrup. So in a pan over medium-high heat, I'm gonna add some water and some sugar and bring that up to a boil. And we're just waiting for that sugar to dissolve, and that'll be our simple syrup, and we can set it aside. So while you're waiting for that to happen, you can go ahead and start juicing up your lemons. And you wanna make sure you're using real lemon juice for this. Please do not use this stuff in the bottle. It does not measure up. It is not at all the same. And a little thing I like to do before I juice my lemons is soak them in some hot water. That just releases all the juices and make them a lot easier to squeeze in the long run so that you get the most out of your lemon. So now that you got your simple syrup done and your lemon juice, you wanna start brewing up your black tea. Now I'm using regular black tea. You can really use any tea you want, but black is preferred. And I'm only using 3 tea bags because I don't really want a super strong tea here. I want it to be really mild. And I'm gonna let that brew for 3 minutes because that's what it says on the packaging, and I don't wanna create that bitter taste like we mentioned before. So in your pitcher, you're gonna add your black tea, your lemon juice, your simple syrup, and fill the rest up with regular cold water. And for an extra lemony kick, I like to add some lemon slices and some fresh mint. It makes it taste extra refreshing and it looks really pretty. So on a hot summer day when you are just sweating your buds off, weather buds. So on a hot day when you're sweating bullets and you just want something really cold to drink, these 3 teas are magnificent because they're really good for your body and they're so refreshing. So I don't know what else to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, something short, sweet, and simple, and I hope I accomplished that. So if you want to remake this recipe, just look below in the description box. I'll have all the measurements as well as the written instructions. And if you did like this video, don't forget to smack that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I have many more videos to come. So as always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Pow!